Have you ever heard a phrase so cutting it made you question your entire relationship? Statements like, "You're too sensitive," or "I can do better than you," aren't just hurtful. They're signs of something much deeper and far more dangerous. If she says any of these 10 things, it's not just a red flag, it's a signal to leave for your own good. Imagine staying in a relationship where your worth is constantly questioned, your feelings dismissed, or your love manipulated. These aren't minor issues. They're major warning signs of emotional imbalance that could cost you your peace, your confidence, and even your future happiness. You might think, is it really that bad? Or, can't things change? But the harsh truth is, these behaviors often escalate, leaving you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and regret. In this video, we'll break down 10 toxic phrases rooted in disrespect and manipulation. Using Stoic wisdom, we'll reveal why these statements are not just hurtful, but detrimental to your well-being, and how walking away is an act of self-respect and courage. Stick around, because by the end, you'll have the tools to protect your peace, guard your worth, and approach relationships with the wisdom of the Stoics. Now, let's dive into the first phrase you should never tolerate. 1. I'm too good for you. When someone tells you, "I'm too good for you," it's more about their mindset than your worth. A Stoic perspective teaches us that external validation, or the lack thereof, should never determine our sense of self. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Hearing such a statement can be a blow to the ego, but ego is not your ally in such moments. Instead of reacting defensively or pleading for their validation, take a step back and assess the situation with clarity. What kind of person feels the need to assert superiority in a relationship? A healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and equality, not on one person belittling the other to inflate their own self-worth. This phrase is a red flag because it highlights a lack of humility and gratitude, both key virtues in Stoicism. It's not your role to prove your worth to someone who doesn't recognize it. As Seneca wisely stated, "A man is as miserable as he thinks he is." If their happiness hinges on feeling superior, they are already trapped in their own misery. For your own good, practice the art of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means understanding what is within your control, your actions, thoughts, and values, and letting go of what isn't, like someone else's opinion of you. By walking away from someone who demeans you, you protect your peace and pave the way for healthier, more uplifting relationships. Remember, you don't need someone to validate your worth. True strength lies in knowing your value, regardless of others' judgments. This is the essence of living a Stoic life, calm, resilient, and grounded in self-respect. 2. You need to change. When someone demands that you need to change, Stoicism teaches us to pause and reflect. Change is not inherently bad. In fact, growth often requires it. But the demand should align with your own values, not someone else's preferences. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." The issue with this statement is its tone of control. A healthy relationship is about mutual growth and acceptance, not one partner dictating how the other should be. If someone wants you to change in ways that compromise your integrity or values, it's a sign that they are projecting their own dissatisfaction onto you. True change comes from within and is motivated by personal goals, not external pressure. Instead of reacting emotionally to this demand, consider whether the change they suggest aligns with your principles. For instance, if they want you to be healthier or more disciplined, that could be a positive nudge. However, if they want you to abandon your hobbies, friendships, or beliefs to fit their ideal, it's time to reevaluate the relationship. A Stoic would recognize that while we can adapt and grow, we should never betray our authentic selves to please others. Seneca wisely observed, "You must live for yourself, not for other people." If their vision of you conflicts with who you are at your core, then their expectations are not your burden to carry. Ultimately, the question is not whether you should change, but why and for whom. Walk away from relationships that demand change for the wrong reasons. Stay true to your own values and let your growth be guided by your own wisdom and aspirations. 3. It's just a joke. When someone dismisses your feelings by saying, "It's just a joke," they minimize your experience. Stoicism emphasizes emotional resilience, but it also teaches that relationships should foster mutual respect. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." A good partner doesn't dismiss your emotions, they acknowledge and validate them. A joke should bring laughter, not discomfort. If you express that something hurt you and their response is to downplay it, it reveals a lack of empathy. Empathy is a cornerstone of meaningful relationships, and its absence is a sign of deeper incompatibility. A Stoic would see this moment as an opportunity to practice apatheia, freedom from destructive emotions. By calmly addressing the situation without being overwhelmed by anger or frustration. Approach the conversation with clarity. Explain why their words impacted you. If they respond with defensiveness or mockery, it's a clear signal that they lack the maturity to handle conflict constructively. A healthy partner seeks to understand and grow, not dismiss or deflect. Remember, Stoicism doesn't mean tolerating disrespect. Seneca advised, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. If their humor consistently comes at your expense, they are not improving your life, they are eroding your confidence. In such cases, walking away preserves your dignity and peace of mind. Life is too short to stay in relationships where your feelings are belittled. Seek partnerships where humor is a source of joy and bonding, not a tool for harm or manipulation." 4. I don't trust you. Trust is the foundation of any relationship. When someone says, "I don't trust you," it signals a serious issue that must be addressed. Stoic wisdom teaches us to examine the root cause of conflict without taking it personally. As Marcus Aurelius advised, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." Begin by calmly asking why they feel this way. Is their mistrust based on a misunderstanding, past experiences, or your actions? If you've made a mistake, own it and take steps to rebuild trust. However, if their mistrust stems from insecurity or past trauma that they project onto you, understand that their burden is not yours to carry. A Stoic recognizes that we cannot control others' perceptions. What we can control is our honesty and integrity. If you have acted with honor and your partner still cannot trust you, it may be a sign that they are not ready for a healthy relationship. Epictetus reminds us, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." If they are unwilling to trust despite your efforts, further discussion may be futile. Ultimately, a relationship without trust becomes a source of constant tension and self-doubt. While you can empathize with their struggles, you must also prioritize your peace. If trust cannot be restored, walking away is an act of self-respect. Let go of what you cannot control and focus on maintaining your own virtues. Trustworthy people attract trustworthy partners, and in time, you'll find someone who values the bond you offer. 5. You should be grateful, I'm with you. When someone says, "You should be grateful, I'm with you," they are framing the relationship as a one-sided favor rather than a mutual bond. Stoicism teaches us to recognize our inherent worth and not allow others to manipulate us through such statements. As Epictetus wisely put it, know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly. You don't need someone else's permission to feel worthy. Gratitude is a virtue, but it should be mutual, not demanded. A healthy relationship is built on shared respect, not on one person's belief that they are doing the other a favor. This kind of statement is often a subtle form of control, aimed at making you feel lesser so you won't question their behavior or the relationship itself. Instead of internalizing their words, ask yourself whether this person truly appreciates you. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you allow such belittling statements to take root in your mind, they can erode your confidence over time. A Stoic would detach from such negativity, understanding that self-worth comes from living virtuously, not from someone else's approval. Gratitude should flow both ways. If someone cannot appreciate you as an equal, it's time to walk away. Respect yourself enough to seek a relationship where both partners feel fortunate to have one another. By leaving such a dynamic, you preserve your dignity and create space for a healthier connection. 6. I don't need a man. While independence is commendable, when someone uses this phrase to undermine the relationship, it reflects an unwillingness to embrace mutual interdependence. Stoicism teaches us that human beings are social creatures who thrive through collaboration. As Marcus Aurelius stated, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings no benefit to the bee." The issue with this phrase isn't independence, it's the dismissive tone that devalues the partnership. A Stoic approach would first seek to understand, is this a statement of genuine independence or a tactic to diminish your role in the relationship? If it's the latter, it may indicate deeper issues of resentment or ego that cannot sustain a healthy bond. Interdependence doesn't mean dependency. It means recognizing that a relationship is stronger when both partners support one another's growth. If someone views the partnership as unnecessary or unimportant, they may lack the emotional investment required to build a lasting connection. Remember Epictetus's advice: make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. You cannot control someone else's values or beliefs, but you can control how you respond. If their perspective undermines the relationship's foundation, walking away is an act of wisdom. A fulfilling partnership requires mutual effort and respect. If they don't value what you bring to the table, seek a connection where your contributions are appreciated and reciprocated. 7. My friends are more important. While friendships are vital, a partner who consistently prioritizes friends over the relationship is sending a clear message about where you stand. Stoicism reminds us to evaluate what is within our control and what aligns with our values. Seneca said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." A partner who marginalizes you for their friends may not be contributing to your growth or well-being. There's a fine balance between maintaining friendships and nurturing a relationship. However, if they habitually put their friends' needs ahead of the partnership, it shows a lack of commitment. A Stoic would not beg for attention, but would instead reflect on whether the relationship aligns with their principles of mutual respect and shared priorities. Approach the situation calmly. Express your feelings without anger or blame, as Stoicism advocates rational discourse over emotional outbursts. If they are unwilling to acknowledge your concerns or make an effort to balance their priorities, it may be time to reconsider the relationship. A relationship should feel like a partnership, not a competition. If you are consistently placed second, it's a sign that they are not ready for the depth of connection you deserve. By leaving, you honor your own values and make space for a partner who is equally invested. 8. If you loved me, you would. This statement is a form of emotional manipulation, pressuring you to act against your will.